Hey there and welcome back. So in this video we will use the interfaces to connect them or use them in our models that we will make very much use of when we work with CRUD functions, creating products, registers users and stuff like that. So let's create a new folder because we're using sort of MVC. Remember the architecture. We have created the interfaces for user and product. And now we need to create them user models that will work together with the database so that we can save data based on these models. And later on, we will try to do the controllers that will use the models to bind everything together. So let's create a new folder called models, and let's create a new file called user model.ts. So how is that going to look like? Well, first we need to import something that we need to use. We need to import a schema. Now remember, MongoDB is initially a schemaless database, so we have no schema. We have collections of different sorts, where we have no collections now. But the collections have no structure whatever, so this is initially unstructured. But we would like to have a little bit structure, so we add, using Mongoose, we add these schemas that will define how the data is in the database, so we don't end up having very much different data. We also need a model, and we're going to import this from Mongoose. Then we need to get the user from our let's see, I need to access my interfaces, find the user. Then we need to do a const called user schema. And this is a new schema that we imported. And the new schema will be created based on the user interface that we did. And in here we can specify what it should look like. And it looks a lot like the interface that we did, of course. So we have user, we can specify things in here. Oh, sorry, we got the name. We have the email. Oh. And we got the register date. Right, so now I just put empty values in here, but we can specify that this is a string in the database. We can also specify whether it should be required. I think it should be required that you have a name. We can also specify the minimum length of the name. Don't know how this should be. Let's just put minimum 6 characters and maximum 255. It's a long name. So we have good tools here to specify the schema, just like we could do in a relational databases where we need to define the schema up front. So email, we need to have an email. I think it's the same. We can also add something about it should be unique, so that you cannot register 2 users with the same email. Of course, this is totally optional here. What if we put in, let's see here, the password. If we have requirements for the password, probably we would also want to have a password. And then finally, the registered date, that should not be a string, that should just be a date required. And maybe minimum and maximum is not that relevant here, but we could put in a default value. Update now. Okay, so this could be the initial setup of the schema for the user that has these different values. It is made based on the interface so that we make sure that all users will have these data into the database. So we export this as a constant so that we can get this from all of our controllers when we start to create users, or we register users in the application. So let's see how we can do this. User, call this user. So we do the model based on the user interface. We call the model user. And to do this, we will use the schema called user schema. So now we have a final user model we can use in our application. All right, so that is the first of the user. Let's just create one for the product model to finish off the models. And it's going to be much like the same. Let me just check here. I'm just going to type it, no problem here. Model, it's the same. From Mongoose, we will import our product. Gonna find interfaces. We're gonna find the product. Oh, I have a typo. So we create the same schema here. Product. Now we use the product interface. So we will take name, and I'm just going to set this for, we can reuse something from the previous maybe. Description, thing, maybe let me just check here, boom, boom. Even though it's not totally alike here, let's just take this one here. We'll just modify this. So, oops. Yeah, so we could install something called Prettier that will format everything for us, but let's do this in another video here. But let's just copy one from our user that we can use as a template. In our model, we can see we have a whole bunch of errors. So name is a string, required true. Yeah, seems okay. We have description. That could be okay. Maybe we don't know if this is required. This is up to you what you want to have in here. URL. Maybe we don't want to set any requirements for this. It has to be there, an image URL maybe. So we have a price number. This is a number for this. No length for this. And let's put the stock in here. That is also a number. Right there. So, And let's see here what we need to put this in. Require true, we have this on discount. Now, maybe this should have a default value of false. Maybe it is not on discount initially. And it is of type Boolean. So we discount percentage. And here we can also specify default 0 maybe if we want to have don't have a discount percentage. Boolean here is hidden. Maybe it's not hidden. Up to you again. What you prefer, created by. So now we need to modify this a bit here, because what will actually be saved in the created by, even though it is an ID, it is an object ID, and this is of type string, could be, and it is referencing the user, and it is required that we have this. So whenever we create a new product, it needs to save the user that has created it. So for this example, we will connect these two models together by the user ID, that is a string from Mongo. Yes, so this is more or less it. We just need to export this as a product model. Product, and we will call this and we will use our product schema to define this. So just to explain, we're defining a product model. We have a constant that is called this. We are defining a new model based on the product interface. And in the database, we will call it, the collection will be called product. And the user will be called user, the collection. All right, and we can see that now NodeMon has been on heavy work here from all the typing. And that's also why it's very important to close the database connection when we are testing every time. But we can see that we have no errors at the moment. But we will see this for sure when we start to work with these models in our controllers. So this is coming up next, how we actually use these models in our application. Okay, so there might be changes to this depending on how it goes. We might change the parameters. You can also change them depending on your application. But I hope you make this work and have fun. Bye-bye.